Please join me in welcoming to the stage the 2026 Seeds Access Changes Everything honoree, Pamela Amusa.
There's a little girl I want you to meet. She's smart, almost annoyingly so. At least that's what my sister says. She asks too many questions in class. She reads books that aren't assigned. She has enormous dreams that live inside a life with limited resources. She doesn't yet know the names or import of the school she will one day attend, nor does she have knowledge that there are calibers of institutions that can send signals of prestige and open doors of opportunity. She is feisty, very feisty, ever remembering and ever justice-oriented. She is me. I grew up understanding in a way that children understand things before they have the words for them, that where you come from shapes what people believe and expect from you. I was bright. My teacher said so. My friends knew so. I knew so. But brightness alone, without access, without opportunity, without someone who refuses to let you be invisible, is not enough. Seeds found me. I was 11 years old, sitting in Mr. Travis's social studies class. Toward the end of the class period, a Seeds representative came in to tell us about this program. And I'll be honest with you, I can't recall if it was actually a cool presentation. But what I do remember was the mention of Saturday and summer school. My classmates were not moved, but I was. Because I loved school in a way that was hard to explain. I lived for it. Every Sunday evening, I would lay out my clothes for the entire week. You remember that, Patrick? Monday through Friday, Patrick is my older brother. Monday through Friday, lined up and ready, because I could not wait to get back. School was where I got to read and write and imagine and calculate and explore and discover what my mind could do inside a structure that felt safe. School wasn't just where I learned. School was where I could breathe and be engaged. So when Seeds walked into my classroom, an unremarkable day, an ordinary period, a presentation most of my peers had already dismissed, I leaned forward. The representative left a sign-up sheet behind for us students to confirm our interest with a signature, and I signed my name, the single biggest deliberate act of my adolescence. In walked Seeds. Not that I found Seeds, not that I was resourceful enough or my family connected enough to uncover this opportunity. An organization, came to me in a classroom at 11 years old in a moment I did not fully understand. Somewhere before that day, meetings had been held. Plans had been made. People who had not known my name had decided that students like me were worth showing up for, worth planning for. And because of that decision made in rooms I was never in, my life changed. My life changed. That is what your support makes possible. Not just programs, but moments. The unremarkable day that rewrites someone's entire life. When I entered the Seeds program, I remember feeling two things, completely in place and completely alive. I have been in many rooms since, prestigious rooms, and I can tell you that what Seeds gave me in those Saturday classrooms was something I have spent the rest of my life so far seeking to recreate. A space where who I was on the inside matched what was expected of me on the outside. Where my physical presence did not have to wage war against the assumptions in the room, where my excellence was not a surprise to anyone. Who I was matched what was expected of me. And it wasn't just true for me, it was true for all of us. My peers and I are brilliant. I remember looking around those classrooms thinking, wow, these kids, us kids. I remember a boy named Bobby, smart, and he was so cute. I have to call him. I'm kidding, but in all seriousness, we pushed each other. We impressed each other. We held each other to a standard during our seeds enrichment. And the rigor was real. The expectations were high. Nobody lowered the bar because of where we came from. And that, I would come to understand, was perhaps the biggest gift of all. Because the soft bigotry of low expectations is its own kind of violence. Seeds refused to commit it. Seeds did not see us as charity cases. Seeds saw us as scholars, saw our excellence as an established fact rather than an outcome to be hoped for. That is not a programmatic distinction. That is divine. Slowly, Saturday by Saturday, lesson by lesson, things shifted within me. Not just what I knew, but what I understood my life to be going. I started carrying myself like someone who knew her life would be big. And so tonight, you've heard it, but so tonight, when I tell you where that little girl ended up, receive it not as a brag, but as evidence of what your support produces. I am an alumna of Lawrence Academy, a prestigious independent school in New England where I now sit on the board. I am an alumna of Georgetown University, the elite institution of our nation's capital, where I graduated with honors, addressing my own graduating class, and where I now stand at the front of classrooms as an adjunct professor. I am an alumna of the University of Oxford, where I didn't just study the literary canon, I recreated it. And I am an alumna of Harvard Law School, the same institution that has produced presidents of the United States. And I will tell you something that is not boastful, it is simply true. I held my own, more than held my own. I led discussions challenging the acceptance of words written on a page and asked the questions of the undercurrent. Who wrote this? In what moment? With what agenda? And in whose interest? And currently, I am Vice President and Associate General Counsel at the world's largest credit union, having been rigorously trained at Skadden Arps, one of the world's most elite law firms. This is what Seeds built in me, not just access to elite institutions, but the unshakable knowledge, the bone-deep certainty that I belonged in every room I entered, that I was not a guest, that I was and remain one of the sharpest analytical minds in any room I walk into. There are more than 3,500 Seeds alumni currently continuing their educations or working in the workforce. 3,500 people whose trajectories were permanently altered by this organization. Alumni who are now doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, educators, artists, influencers, because I gotta get the young people, public servants, alumni who are in the rooms making the decisions because someone believed they belong there. That is what your support produces. Seeds is how we ensure that talent not zip code, mine was 07111, not income bracket, not the circumstances of birth, determines who gets to contribute at the highest levels to the future of this country and world. I am grateful beyond what words can express. I am grateful to Seeds. I am grateful to this community. And I am grateful to every person in this room who understands that generosity, real generosity, is not about charity. It is about love and purpose and human capacity realized. I want to close by telling you something I have never taken for granted, not for a single day of my adult life. Someone paid for me. Not my tuition, though they did that too. Someone in a room very much like this one, at a dinner very much like this one, made a decision that a child they would never meet in a neighborhood that they may never visit was worth it. That decision compounded across perhaps an infinite number of additional decisions and supporters and mentors and teachers produced me. I am not just accepting this honor tonight. I am standing before you as the most compelling argument. I am the answer to the question of whether this works. Because somewhere there is a little girl laying out her clothes for the week, or perhaps she already did it because she usually does it on Sunday. Pressing them, smoothing them, counting down the hours until her mind can soar. She doesn't know your name, and she may never stand in front of you to ask you herself. So I'm asking for her. Fund her Saturday. Fund her summer. Fund the moment when the world finally catches up to everything she already knows she is. She's ready. She's always been ready. Thank you.